What's up, guys? Welcome back. My name is Emma, if you are new here. I have with me a triple grain smoothie and some berries and kiwis for this video. Today I thought I would do something a bit different. I'm gonna do a bit of a story time, kind of, I guess. I was talking about injuries with a friend and we were talking about broken bones and such, and I have so many injury stories that I thought that I would kind of compile them into one storytime video. This might not be interesting at all, but you know, why not? I am the clumsiest person ever. By the end of this video, you'll be shaking your head at me and thinking that I need to be wrapped in bubble wrap for the rest of my life. A couple of years ago, a couple of my friends used to call me Stitches because they always thought that I was gonna need stitches. To start, I'm just gonna give you a quick overview of my injuries and then I'll tell you the story behind a couple of them. Okay, so starting from the top, head to toe. I don't know. I'm gonna start from bottom up. I have broken, I'm gonna do different categories. Broken and then just like other injuries. I've broken multiple toes. I broke my entire leg in multiple places. I had a spiral fracture and I had a cast up to my hip. I broke my elbow a couple times. I've broken fingers, broke my nose like 7 times. I think that's it for breaks. And then other injuries, I have bad ankles. I've rolled them a million times, so they're just flimsy. I have bad knees. I have fallen on them and hyperextended them a bunch of times, and so those just suck. I have bad hips. Don't know why. A couple years ago, they just started bugging me. I have a bad back from cheerleading and gymnastics. I'm an old woman. I have a cyst on my wrist. That rhymes. Dislocated my shoulder, which then tore the ligament holding it in place. I had a stress fracture on my ankle once. I had a disease where my heel bone disintegrated. I've had 2 or 3 concussions. I'm sweating. It's so hot. I think that's it. I should have made a list. That was probably dumb. I was not prepared for this. I literally just decided to do this like 5 minutes ago. So you're just coming along for the unprepared ride. Story times. I'll just blow through the big ones quickly, like the big injuries that didn't have a good story. I mean, honestly, none of them have the best story. This is gonna be a really pointless video. Who knows if I'm even gonna post it, but you know, I need some content. My band-aid is coming off. Broke my entire leg. I had a spiral fracture when I was 2.5, I think. Basically, was just trying to get out of my stroller it was kind of like a zoo. Trying to get out of my stroller, got up and stepped out and my leg got caught between a wall in the stroller and I started to fall and I twisted as I fell, something like that. I don't really know. Literally had a fracture that went all the way up my entire leg. And so I only just learned to walk recently, I think, or within the past year or so. And so I had a cast literally up to my hip when I was like that big. So that sucked. Broke one of my toes when I was at the beach and I was trying to get my dog to run into the water with me. And so I was sprinting to try to get him to come and he cut me off and I fell and didn't really think anything of it. I was more like, oh my God, that kind of hurt. God damn it, Murphy. And then I looked down and my toe, the one next to my pinky toe, was completely crooked, like sideways. Not fun. What else are just dumb ones? Hurt my knees. One of them was, well, it was my 17th birthday. We had gotten a party bus and we were just driving around the city and everything. I was having a great time. This is a little inappropriate, but I was really drunk. Teenagers do dumb shit in high school. And so honestly, could not tell you exactly how this happened. I was walking, I had only just gotten off of the party bus. We were at this like beach area and I slipped while I was walking and fell. I was so drunk that I literally thought I was still walking. And so when people started helping me up, I was like, get off of me, I'm fine, like what are you doing? And they came and like sat me down to clean up my knee and I looked down and I was like, what? Like when did that happen? Now I have a really gross scar on my knee and that like destroyed my knee for a little bit. I had already hurt it the week before, or like a couple weeks before in cheer. I hyperextended it during a competition and so I was already kind of limping on it. Yeah, that sucked. That was really bad. Other knee, I have a gross scar on as well because I was at a friend's house and I got up really quickly and didn't see that there were like shoes underneath me and I slipped on them and went full speed into a corner of a counter. You know when you see like a cut is so deep that it goes white before it starts bleeding? I immediately started laughing as soon as it happened because I was like, this would happen to me. And then I looked and I saw the white before it started bleeding and I literally thought it was my bone. And I was like, oh, okay. And I just laid down and I was like, can someone else deal with this? And everyone started freaking out. We couldn't find band-aids anywhere. And so we taped a cotton ball to my knee for the time being. So that was fun. What else? Elbow, I broke twice. Both of them were cheer competition related. The first time, it was the day after my birthday. I was 13, I think, maybe 12. No, I was 12. During the competition, like 30 seconds in, I think, something like that, I hyperextended my elbow during a back handspring and then landed on it, and so it like popped out and it broke, and I had to continue doing the routine. And so I had to go for another like 2 minutes when like tumbling and like throwing people and stuff like that. That sucked. I broke it the second time warming up for a competition. We were backstage and I did a back walkover. I didn't even do anything like serious, and the same thing happened, and I hyperextended it and then almost passed out and couldn't compete and had to go to the hospital. Quick little side story for that. We went to the hospital and they came and asked my mom if I was allowed to have Valium for the pain. And there's an Eminem song that goes, my mom loves Valium and lots of drugs. And I started singing it in the waiting room and everyone was just looking at me and I was like, I'm in pain, I don't know. I don't think I like blackberries. I got a stress fracture when I was like 10 in my ankle from jumping rope. We had like a jump rope competition to see who could go the longest, and I went for too long, and the next day my ankle was like that big. My heel, oh right, going backwards, sorry. My heel, I had this thing called Sever's disease, which is basically my heel bone. There was something up with my growth plate and it was causing my heel bone to start disintegrating. At the time, I was really, really intensely into gymnastics, very competitive. And then also, I had just gotten Heelys for Christmas. I was like 8, I think. And then on top of that, my foot grew like 4 or 5 sizes in 1 year. My foot just couldn't handle the stress. And so it got to the point where I could not even touch my heel like that. And so we went to the doctor, took some x-rays, and you could literally see the dust at the bottom of my foot where the heel bone was disintegrating. It was so bizarre. And so I had to wear like this boot for a really long time, something like 3 months or something like that, and to get it fixed. And then after that, I had to wear these little heel cup things. Every once in a while, it still bothers me. What else? My finger, I broke. I don't know how. I did something in cheer and messed up and landed my knee on my knuckle. Had that, and it was when I was first starting my high school cheer team, because I did competitive and high school. And it was the beginning of my first year with high school. So I was always saying number 1. Cyst on my wrist, we don't know. I've had it for a really long time. The only way to fix it is surgery. I don't want to do that. What else? My shoulder, I had just switched cheer teams and it was my first practice on this team. And we were warming up our tumbling and I did something weird. I don't know what exactly I did, but I was talking my tooth. Okay, I got it. I basically dislocated my shoulder and then it was like a partial dislocation. Like it popped out of the popped back in. Honestly, probably would have been fine if I just stopped then, but I didn't want to be the new girl that gets hurt on the first day. And so I kept going and I continued tumbling and working out and everything for 3 hours that night. After that, I went for almost a month, I think, continuing to use it and everything. I just wasn't tumbling. But I was still stunting and I was still doing everything else. I just was a little too scared to tumble. And so a month later, I finally went to the doctor, and that was May 2014. It is now May 2018, 4 years later. He said that the only way to fix it was surgery, and I still have not had that surgery. So I have a really bad shoulder. I just haven't had the time because it's a really long recovery process, and I live in London, and so I don't want to get the surgery here. I want to get it back home, and I need to be there to do physical therapy and everything like that. And so I think once I graduate, I'll probably have it done. I don't know, we'll see. Oh, I fractured a rib. For those of you who don't know cheer lingo, a stunt is when someone is like the people are holding them in the air. A spotter just stands around them to make sure that if someone falls, you can help catch them if they need any help or anything like that. So I was spotting this one stunt, and the flyer started to fall and she stuck her butt out and like basically just sat down on my chest. And then I had to keep going because cheer. But that was at the end of summer, beginning of the school year. And so that was my second year on my high school cheer team. And so first year I had my finger, second year I had my chest, and then third year I had my shoulder. And so by the end of it, my coach was just like, Emma, do you want to be here? I've broken my nose. I don't even know how many times now. I think around 5 times. I had surgery when I was 15 to get it fixed. So it's a bit better now. I still need another surgery because it's not completely straight. First time I broke it, I was running on a pool deck. I was like 4. I was running on a pool deck and slipped and didn't break my fall, just landed straight on my face. There was once that I did a cartwheel in the park and no idea how, but kneed myself in the face. Most of them were kneeing myself in the face. And it was always when I did something that I wasn't supposed to be doing. So one of them, my gymnastics coach, I asked if I could try a flip of some sort, and he said no, and then he went to the bathroom, and as soon as he turned away, I went and tried it and fell on my face. Karma. I was at a trampoline park thing and did a flip into the like foam pit, and I did a double front tuck, and the second one I kind of kept going, but then my feet hit the foam, and so then I kneed myself in the face. Those are all the like major ones that I remember. I've probably broken it a bunch of other times. Who knows, honestly. Rolled my ankles a bunch of times. I got a couple concussions. One of them was in cheer. Me and this other girl were both tumbling and didn't realize that we were going straight for each other. And so I was going like back into something and she was coming down from it and her feet just slammed me in the head. And then the other one that I got was a couple years ago. I was at my friend's house and I was like making tea or something like that. I don't even know what I was doing, just something random. And I leaned over to get something and then I stood up at full speed and didn't realize that there was a cabinet right above me. So I smacked my head into a cabinet at full speed. That sucked. I threw up afterwards, so not fun. I think that's it. I have a lot of stupid stories. Like there was once I slipped and almost broke my ankle at a club because my heels were a bit too big for me and the stairs were slippery, and I got distracted by a hot guy and I slipped. Caught myself, thankfully. I think that's it. Maybe I don't have as many stories as I thought. Ooh, that was a crunchy one. This was a bit more boring than I expected, so I apologize. If anyone has any good injury stories, let me know, because I think they're fun. I always like to see that I'm not the only clumsy person in the world. It's a combination of being really clumsy, but then also I did a couple of the most dangerous sports that are very accident prone, so probably wasn't the best combination. My parents literally put me in gymnastics to improve my balance because they thought I was gonna kill myself. So that's fun. Okay, well, this was dumb. I have so many other stories that I could have told too. Okay, I'll do another story time. Okay, thanks for watching. Subscribe, like. See you.